Moi everyone and welcome to Finish Your Plate. The macaroni casserole is everybody's favorite, especially children's, but I think adults secretly love it too, if not just for nostalgia. When I was in grade school, we had macaroni casserole for lunch maybe once, twice per school year, and it was always a big event. It would always run out, and that is one of the classic Finnish dishes. I made my dad's version of the macaroni casserole, which is a little bit different from the classic one. You're going to see that the method is a little bit different, and also the pasta is a little bit different. But make no mistake, this will still have those great macaroni casserole flavors that you've all grown to love. So join me and I'll show you how to make my dad's version of macaroni casserole. So let's fry up our ground beef first. I'm going to add just a little bit of avocado oil in here, my pan. Beef prices have of course gone up quite a bit in the past few weeks and months. If you want to save a little, you could also use something like textured vegetable protein. This is basically just soy that has been made into little pellets that kind of look like ground beef. Or if you just want to reduce the amount of beef that you use in general, these are a great alternative, or additive rather, to extend your meat. It's kind of the same way like in the past meatballs were made by extending beef with stale bread. So in the same way, you're extending the meat with vegetable protein instead. We'll add a little bit of salt, so this way the beef can start cooking. And break it up a little. While my beef is cooking, I'm going to take an onion and just chop it. Onions and beef, specifically ground beef, it's such a great combination. Recently there's been a resurgence of onion burgers, which is basically ground beef that has been extended with a lot of onions, and that makes a really delicious burger. Alright, now my beef has browned through, and the sound is a little bit different when it has actually lost pretty much most of its moisture and it's starting to fry in its own fat. So now I'm going to add my onions. And we're going to keep frying this. I'm also going to add some garlic powder, granulated garlic powder. I didn't happen to have any fresh garlic, so I'll just use this instead. We'll add some pepper, black pepper, some ground allspice, which is of course classic in Finnish meatballs. Some paprika powder, and some marjoram. You could use oregano instead of marjoram. I'm going to add just a touch more oil. I feel like it's running a little bit dry, so there we go. Now we'll fry this up a little while longer until basically the onions are soft and they've turned sweet. I'll add a little bit more salt. Alright, our beef is now ready. Turn off the heat and we'll set it aside. For the pasta, instead of macaroni, this recipe uses bucatini, so it's definitely not a traditional recipe at all. And you might think this is the weirdest part of the recipe. No, we're actually going to cook the bucatini in milk. So I'm just going to pour some milk in my pot over here. We're just going to use just enough milk kind of to cover the bucatini. The goal is to have as little milk left over as possible once the pasta is done cooking. Of course you want to submerge it, but that's about it. Add a little bit of salt to the milk. This is also going to be a little tricky in that you don't want to burn the milk. So we won't be boiling the pasta per se in the milk, but rather just cooking it, gently simmering. And what's going to happen is the pasta is going to release the starch into the milk, and it's going to absorb the milk, which is then going to go to our finished casserole. So the amount of milk that you're going to use depends on the size of your pan, how much pasta you're using. Also, if you're using macaroni rather than bucatini, it might be a little bit easier because it's going to be spread out wider. While my milk is getting warm, I'm just going to shred some cheese to put on top. I'm using Gouda, which is a pretty common Finnish cheese. You could use Swiss cheese too, something like that. Of course, mozzarella too in a pinch. All right, now my milk is hot. It's certainly not boiling yet, but I'm already going to put the pasta in because we don't want to boil the milk. It'll just boil over, burn, and all kinds of nasty stuff. So with bucatini, just like with spaghetti, what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for it to get a little bit of soft on the bottom and then just gently push the pasta down as it cooks, as it gets softer and cooks. It's definitely taking a lot longer than boiling your regular pasta, but I love the results already. I think we are just about done over here. Let me turn off the heat because pretty much all the milk has been absorbed, but we can see that what's left is this really thick liquid. So one key that I noticed is that you have to keep mixing it a lot because we don't want the pasta to get stuck to each other, and also we don't want the milk to burn. So I think this is great now as it is, and there's almost this like a creamy sauce that we already have here. But now what we're going to do is we are just going to add our beef, and we are also going to add a little bit more milk and eggs, but let's mix this all up first. So in my bowl, I'm just gonna crack 3 eggs, and we'll just whisk this up, and we'll add milk to this. I think I need just a little bit more milk. So 3 eggs and half a liter, 500 mils of milk. And now let's take this out and let's put it into our casserole over here. Now we'll shake this up to even it out. I'll add a little bit more salt to my egg and milk mixture, a little bit more pepper, and I'll pour this until, let's see if it'll take the entire, almost. No need to overfill. If it doesn't take it all, it doesn't. I feel like I need to maybe even this out just a little bit more. Maybe I'll use my tongs instead of just shaking it, trying to get a little bit more even. There we go. And now last thing before it goes in the oven is we're going to spread some Gouda cheese on top. This is going to go in the oven. I have my oven set to 400 Fahrenheit, about 200 Celsius. This is going to take maybe about, I want to say maybe about 20, 25 minutes. Let's see. So it was about 25 minutes. It came out looking absolutely gorgeous. Some people, they omit the cheese. They prefer that crusty, crunchy macaroni bits that you get on the top. The choice is yours, of course. I really like melted cheese. Who doesn't? So I'm definitely looking forward to tasting this. Before I got into this, let me just add a little bit of parsley for garnish. Now I'm definitely ready to serve me some of this macaroni casserole. This should be especially nostalgic, given that it's my dad's recipe. Ooh. Let me add a couple more pieces of parsley. And of course, no macaroni casserole is ever truly finished until you add a little bit of ketchup, or a lot. And just like no macaroni casserole is complete without ketchup, no Finnish meal is complete without some rye bread, which I have right here. So let's give it a taste test. I don't know if I should try it with the ketchup first or without. Let's try it without, or minimum. Boiling the pasta in the milk gives it the certain creaminess, which is really nice. And overall, I feel like this is almost like an elevated version of macaroni casserole, which of course is not what macaroni casserole typically is. It is definitely weekday food, but this makes it especially nice. It's great for a weekend. And the rye bread and the ketchup definitely make this meal. So let me know in the comments, do you have your own macaroni casserole recipe? I think that almost everybody in Finland has their own twist to it. Let me know what it is. How do you like to make it? What's your favorite part about macaroni casserole? As always, please like and subscribe. Check out my Instagram, my Facebook too. And I'll see you next time on Finish Your Plate.